Sometimes you just need a quick way out. Next on the Metal Pulpit. Thanks for joining me for another Metal Pulpit here on location at the back door of the church I pastor. And yeah, we got a sign on there that says emergency exit. Well, that's because we just had our fire inspection and we have to have this on this door. But it got me thinking a little bit today about, about life, and maybe I'm feeling a little introspective because of my own health, and thought I'd share a little something with you. You know, back in 2015, it was early March 2015, I went in for a excruciating headache, and my doctor referred me over to neurology. Well, neurology said, we're going to get you into MRI, we're going to check out things, rule things out, and we'll let you know what we find in 6 weeks, we'll follow up. Well, 2 hours later, I got a phone call from them saying, we need to meet. It's not something that really makes you excited or happy. In the words of Steve Taylor on one of his songs, when the doctor starts whistling Happy Trails, it tends to knock a bit of wind out of your sails. That wasn't fully the case, but nonetheless something that took me by surprise. What they found were 5 lesions on my brain, which then was ultimately diagnosed as multiple sclerosis. Well, fast forward a couple years and I'm still dealing with things, and I will deal with MS for the rest of my life. Luckily it's the relapse and remitting, it's not a progressive form. In fact, next month I go in for a follow-up MRI. But here all along I've been fighting something else called hemochromatosis. And basically, a ferritin level in a person's body should be about 50 or lower, and mine was 800 plus. And at 1,000, your organs start shutting down and causing damage, and it becomes quite a nightmare to live with. Well, I ended up meeting with a doctor. I'm a pastor, Christian, Raised Assembly of God, which is part of the Pentecostal movement, and I'm meeting with a doctor named Dr. Islam. I didn't mind this. I came from a big city. I was born and raised in a big city and really don't mind that, but it was just ironic, you know. In fact, in this very building, 2 Christmases ago, I shared the stage with a Muslim, and if you ever want to hear that message, I would be happy to share that with you. We weren't trying to convert anybody. It was simply talking about loving people. But we look at that, and I was thinking to myself, this is interesting. Let's see where it goes. He looked at my charts. He goes, this is what you're dealing with. I said, it took all of these specialists to realize something you looked at for 5 minutes, if that, and realized this is what I'm dealing with. I was so relieved. He told me the plan of attack. My wife was there. She's a medical professional as well. He told me the plan of attack, and then he goes, give me a hug. Who does that? What kind of doctor does that? It was like a peace of mind just was, a weight was lifted off my shoulders. And he said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do, every other week, we're going to do labs. And then every other week, we're going to do therapeutic phlebotomy. Now, the old school would call this bloodletting. Sounds like a Tourniquet album, doesn't it? But it was called bloodletting. And so what we would do is every other week, and this has been going on for 2-3 months now, I would go in and they would take 15 ounces of my blood out and basically thin it out. I had too much blood and going through my system. And that was when I started with 800 some in my ferritin level, which is iron in my system, basically so much iron that the joints and my liver and ultimately my heart was starting to collect this iron. Well, came back today and realized that I'm in a good place. I prayed for a miracle. I was praying for a healing, and it came in the form of a guy named Dr. Islam. His ways are not our ways. And sometimes we get these diagnoses where we wonder, what are we going to do? We start panicking and we look for the emergency exit instead of saying, maybe the miracle's already here. I come from a Pentecostal movement where you were kind of raised, it wasn't taught, but you're kind of raised that all medical professionals were idiots and didn't know what they were talking about, when in fact God has gifted them, majorly gifted them with the knowledge and ability to do things. Now I realize sometimes the natural route is the better way, and we have to rely on God. I totally get that. But Regarding the natural way, yeah, I cut red meat out of my diet, cold turkey. I cut a lot of things out of my diet, cold turkey, and my levels have dropped. And today they were at 140, down from 800 plus. To me, that's a miracle. To me, that's my healing. This thing is literally happening. My liver enzymes are dropping. We cannot, and we should not, push off the medical community. One of Jesus' own disciples was a doctor, Luke. And so next time we are looking for the emergency exit, a quick fix to get out of something where we feel like we've been dealt a raw hand or something we can't deal with, wait and see. Wait and see. God uses people around us all the time. I don't know if Dr. Islam's a Christian or not, but God used him. God gave him a knowledge and an ability to do some awesome things. And yeah, at first I was looking for that sign. Now I'm just along for the ride and seeing my faith built up and watching what God's doing. I hope you can do the same for your situation. If you have questions or you want to talk to somebody, email me right here, pastorbobadams@gmail.com, or any of the sanctuary pastors, and we'd be happy to chat with you and give you some hope for what you're dealing with. Have a great day.